Hmm. Testing, testing. Hey, Patrick. Yeah, sorry. I was I was busy trying to figure out where some things were to set things up, and oh well. I guess we're gonna really have to see how improv everything works and how improv everything is. Uh, yeah, just gotta put the pings out now, and then it should all work out. Everything will be fine. See, live now. Trying out improv storytelling. Well, this is going to be wonderful. Okay. Okay, Patrick, I just saw what you wrote on. Patrick, I just saw what you wrote in Discord. No. No, Patrick, no, please. No. No. Okay, just gonna send one last ping out. Okay. Right, there we go. I've set everything out. Yeah, it's just an experiment. It's just an experiment to see how well I do. And if the experiment fumbles so hard that we can't salvage it, then we literally do anything else, Maybe we'll decide, hey, you know what? Let's just start drawing because this is not working. Or maybe we'll decide, you know what? Let's ad lib something, you know? Or it could just be let's play a video game. Either way, the 2 hours I'm gonna be here. I'm sitting down, I'm all comfy. I got my water. This is important. I got my water. I've just gotta set up the other system and there we go. Okay, yeah. I'm also hearing my own voice and the stream shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. Gotta make sure I change this from top chat to live chat and we're good. Okay, so here's the thing, I was like totally excited. You know what? I'm gonna get a whole bunch of stuff set up for today and all of that. And so how will this work? Well, here's the thing. I was excited on getting a whole lot of things set up. All sorts of things would happen, and I have actually ended up setting up basically nothing. I have essentially just wasted all of my setup time, which is wonderful. I even have this book all ready and prepped to be organized with everything, including the lore, backup names, all sorts of stuff. And I have nothing. I have nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. So, yeah, if you're going to ask me how is this going to work, I do not know. So, yeah, your guess is as good as mine. Once people start showing up, I'm just gonna start talking and we're gonna see how it works. Typical session zero. Yep, typical session zero. But that's what the fun is. This is a test stream, isn't it? So we'll all decide together. And by all of us, I probably just mean you. Because I don't know if anyone else is going to show up. Oh, hi. Well, here we are. By the way, if you hold up a second. Uh, okay, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Just BRB. Okay, hello. I am back. Checking the face tracking? No, no, I wasn't checking the face tracking. I was plugging in the earphones just in case. Specifically, okay, specifically, I'm just gonna be sitting, chilling in YouTube stream or whatnot, right? If you feel like popping in, yeah, you can. You don't need to. But I'm just there. The options available. So yeah, now we should be good for everything. No one else has popped in, which is interesting. So this is going to be a bit of an issue. Well, you see, um, this whole interactive storytelling thing is not going to work with no one in chat. I mean, I could just start talking to myself and seeing if I could, get things working roughly. Punch the bartender. How dare you? I'll have you know the bartender is a very beautiful level 5 retired warrior, and you are just a level 1 warrior. Yeah, I guess it's possible you could get rid of him. Who knows? Okay, so this is how this is how little prep there is. Okay, I technically don't even know what I'm gonna do for the system. I haven't even decided if I'm going to actually go through with having it all in D&D 5e, or if I'm just going to have here are the base stats and we're just going to add in little bits and pieces of D&D 5e as we see fit instead of just making a full-on character sheet. One way or the other, things are going to happen. Like, I don't know. I imagine I was just in the community hangout and just talking about all this in the stream room, and then people just come in and then just like, oh, hello, and then you just start talking. That'd be a nightmare. Yeah, okay. So there seems to be no one. We're a bit past stream time. I've sent out all the notifications, I believe so. So yeah, that will it will work. Sure, it might be fun, but it wouldn't be understandable. None of it would be understandable. It'd just be kind of nonsensical. Nonsensical in every way, shape, or form. Okay. So I guess this is how it's gonna work. You are the only person here, which means you are the chat, which means you are the god. You will be the first god of this setting, quote unquote. Well, not really the first official god being like, oh, great champion. It's like, I'm sorry, I lost track of my own words for a second. But yeah, you're kind of one of the spectator gods, essentially. That's kind of what the chat is going to be. Like, you know how in the web novels, like, when people, it's like, oh, Earth has transformed. Now there's a tower and stuff. Now you guys can climb. You're all players. And there are constellations willing to give blessings and stuff. Basically, you guys are the constellations. You guys are the watcher gods, the spectators, the seekers, if you will. See what I did there? And you are currently the only one. Hmm, that's interesting. I suppose I'll start and then we'll just see what happens, okay? You I just want some royal background music. You're the god of this world. Yeah, you'll drop a Tarask. Good luck with that. Again, the thing is, if it works for a story, you know, then I'll do whatever. Okay, right. So I don't know if I'm gonna actually put any music. Yeah, fight the Tarask. Good job. So I actually don't know if I'm gonna put any music in. That's gonna be a little bit of an issue. You know, if I start putting music in, I'm gonna have to start putting in uh I'm gonna have to put in all the links and stuff, so that's gonna be kind of troublesome. So let's just say there's no music whatsoever, and just roll with that. I don't know I don't know about music. Eventually, maybe someone will be able to pop up and tell me, "Hey, this is what you have to do about music," and then I will learn. But until then, I cannot learn. It is impossible. So, uh, oh, fighter asks. Yes. Okay. Welcome to the game screen. Question mark, question mark, question mark. you know, I didn't. I honestly don't think I thought this through quite as much as I wanted to, because the picture over there, you know, I don't know. I shouldn't have put a DM board over myself right here, but I honestly didn't really know what to do. I couldn't just draw something for Theater of the Mind because legit I was just running out of time. And come on, I didn't even write down a single thing about the story. This book of amazing planning for this story is completely empty. There is not a drop of ink in this book right now, which is wonderful, perfectly wonderful. Also, I do realize that maybe shouldn't have moved myself up because I am kind of blocking. I'm blocking the chat now, aren't I? Yes. Okay, hold up. If I move this low enough, I can move myself to roughly the same place. And there. This works now, right? You can see me as normal, and it looks like I actually do have a board here where stuff is written. I absolutely do have a board filled with all sorts of stuff. You know, ah, yes, beautiful, beautiful paper. Okay, so anyway, pay no mind to that. Oh my god, there are two people watching now. Okay, great. We have enough people on chat. Now it can work. It can all work. So let me first introduce to you a few little things. Patrick, you don't need to ping everyone like that. Okay, so let me talk to you about the story first. What on earth are we facing, right? So, as I've already mentioned in the Discord, we our story takes place in a world. What is the world name? Well, you see, no one can actually agree on what on earth to call the world. You know, that should immediately tell you what kind of world we're dealing with, right? It's a world full of people who just will not agree even on the most basic, simple thing. Like, hey, welcome to this world. Well, what's the name of this world? Welcome to Earth. No, you fucking idiot. The name is Soul. The world is called Soul. But no, the world is called Earth. No. Okay, I'm gonna be doing voices very mildly. Mildly might be the word, okay? Conservatively. Yes. That word doesn't really apply to me in any other way, shape, or form, but I'm specifically going to be a little bit conservative about, when and where I do my voices, just because I'm not good at voices. I can feel them decently. Terra Nova. Hello, Scott Clark. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the stream. Uh, we are doing something kind of insane here. I have no idea if you know what it is, but yeah, basically improvised storytelling. I have a world set up and nothing else. And we're just gonna try telling a story, and we're just gonna roll stuff to figure out what works and what doesn't work. I was gonna say that we're gonna make things do in like the D&D 5e system, but yeah, probably not. You know, I mean, unless you're willing to sit here and character build all of the sheets with me. eh, Glad to have you here. So here's the basic idea. Our story takes place in a world. What is the name of the world? Who knows? Specifically, okay, I actually have in my Discord, this Discord server, okay, I've actually written out all of this lore, okay, and I have nothing else prepared. So that's gonna be pretty fun. What kind of story we're gonna tell? Basic idea. Who even knows? Maybe it could be a funny story, a comedy story. Maybe it could be like a, a tear jerking thriller or something like that. Who knows? So you're not reading any of the lore. That's good. That's good to hear. I have some grounding in Pathfinder to sound so on. Oh, yeah. So I've mostly I've done some DMing, I've done a lot of playing, and I've played a lot of D&D 5e. I've I've messed around recently in Pathfinder Second Edition. It's amazing stuff. So let me explain to you. No one can agree on what to call this earth, on what to call this world. Okay, no one. The humans call it Earth. The dwarves call it Soul. The unicorns call it Gaia. To the leprechauns, it's called Fortuna. Okay? The mermaids call it Luna, and Lord knows, like whatever the other races are, who even knows what they're calling it, right? So as you can see here, we are having our story told in a world, quote unquote. Just that's just it. It's just a world. Because I can't even give a name to it because I don't know whose perspective do you want me to tell the story from. If we're gonna tell it from humans, then yeah, let's tell a story that takes place on Earth, not our Earth. The gods call it the world. Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, Scott. Okay, so this is pretty important. So you, Patrick, whatever, right? Everyone in chat, you guys will take on the roles of the seeker gods, essentially, or you can prefer to watchers if you want. Basically, you are the audience, but actual gods in the world. So you can basically make suggestions like, maybe a friendly NPC will come in, or maybe there'll be a scammer merchant who just pops in, you know, and somehow leads the heroes to find a way to the next place, right? Or maybe you'll be like sudden monster attack, or it rains. So you could basically make suggestions, and I'll look at it. If I see a good suggestion, I'll just take it, and I'll be like, okay, I'll try to make this work. So that's the kind of weird improvised story we're doing. So I've actually got like, oh, here are all of the factions and all of the leaders of the factions and stuff, but that doesn't really matter too much. I'll bring it up when it's important. All you need to know is the world's divided into a whole bunch of places, and so there's like one human kingdom, and then there's a second human kingdom. Both human kingdoms are kind of, they hate each other, and even in the biggest human kingdom, every single state of that kingdom is basically chooses to treat everyone else as like a rival nation. There are the dwarves. The dwarves are pissed off at the humans. You know, there are the unicorns. The unicorns and the dwarves are in a constant struggle for existence. There are the mermaids who want to melt the ice, melt the ice mountains and basically flood the whole world. And there are the leprechauns who are basically the schemers behind everything. Question mark? Maybe. Are the leprechauns all on the same page? Who knows? We don't actually even know that. Are the leprechauns like, are they all part of one big conspiracy, or are they all just tricksters just doing their own thing? You know? No one can even tell. But everyone does know, most people do know this one thing though. Don't trust leprechaun gold, okay? It's not as good as actual gold. Don't trust it. I'm so sorry. Okay, so here's our story. We have uh, we have three adorable little heroes. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to zoom in that way. I meant to click the zoom button here, the plus plus. Uh, is it technically magic or a mixture? What do you mean? Scott, I'm so sorry. Because of the there is a lag, so I don't actually know if I understand the context of what or not you just said. What you just said. So what do you mean? Is it technically magic or a mixture? For heroes, I mean, I don't know what to say about it. But yeah, for heroes. Uh, so I also, sorry, it was a typo. Is it technology, magic, or both? Uh, so the world is heavily reliant on magic. There honestly isn't that much technology in the world. It's like a tiny little bit, just the basic stuff. Like they figured out plumbing and stuff. They've got oil. They're working on, like, motors and stuff. Some places already have it. It's it's not really early industrial period, but we're sort of there. We're sort of at early industrial period, but kind of because of magic. you know just pure technology doesn't really work properly, so they're kind of compensating with some just magic band-aid solutions. So whenever you see the most high-tech things in this world, they are basically like something orcs from 40k would make. That is the most scientifically advanced thing in this world. It's just looks like something what an orc would make from Warhammer 40k. It's just, it doesn't look like it should work, but somehow it just barely does. You know? It's because they put the bare minimum amount of technology in there, and whatever couldn't work, they just slap some magic bullshit on it and just try to make it work. That is the most advanced stuff we have currently. I'm just currently looking for a pen so I can just. Sorry, I just need. You can see how much preparation has been done for this improv storytelling. It's all completely improv because other than the backstory, I have nothing. I don't even have a pen. I have a book here to write all of the lore and everything useful. There is not a single drop of ink in it. That is how this is all going to be completely improvised. There is no one behind the curtain because the curtain is made of styrofoam. The curtain is just painted on. Wonderful. I actually do not have a pen. That is unbelievable. I have lots and lots of color pencils, like a small child, but no pen. Oh well. You guys are just gonna have to write this down, hopefully, maybe. Okay, yeah, I should have a notes right here, okay? So here are three heroes. Okay, we have Blanky McBlankface. So basically, we have Blanky McBlankface, a human girl. We have Spotter Greg, a birdman, a bird boy. And we have Amber Splutters, a unicorn boy. These are our three heroes, you know? A human, a bird, and a unicorn. By the way, a lot of the whenever I say like bird, unicorn, whatnot, they're the bipedal anthropomorphic races. Uh, the actual four-legged unicorns that are like actual animals. They are essentially mythical beings in this world. You know, but that are actual animals of everything else that exists. They exist too. Like, oh, there are actual birds and there are also anthropomorphic birds. There are actual tigers. There are anthropomorphic tigers. There are actual unicorns, maybe question mark somewhere out there, and there are anthropomorphic unicorns, which are the ones who lead an entire faction. So these three are our heroes. Okay, and the main story. Okay, this is the entire story. That's you know in this world, these three live. Uh, well, I don't know how to best say this. Okay, these three live with Amber Splutter's grandparents on the border of the land of on the border of the land of Earth, the human nation, with the borders between that and the mountains of fire, which is the dwarf nation. So on the borders between the human nation and the dwarf nation, the all of these people live. It's technically land owned by the leprechauns, but you know the unicorns work for the leprechauns, so the unicorns get to live. Like the unicorns get to also buy land in the unicorn territories. Because they got a whole treaty going on because of the workers' comp. Okay, so these two, the human and the bird, right? Blanky and Spotter don't actually have you know any living relatives. Like they have relatives, but they're like really far away. Specifically, Blanky's relatives are all the way from the land of yeah, workers' comp. Yeah, I know that might not be the you might not think that that's the word to describe it, but yes, it is the word to describe it. Because of all the stuff unicorns have been through, it is workers' comp. So yeah, so Blanky, okay, Blanky McBlankface, her parents are actually from, well, they're not from, they are currently over at the peaks of ice. Basically, the barbarian lands to the north. Well, barbarian, berserker, people like calling them different things. They're humans and mostly human-ish species. And they just live up there in the frigid north. Blanky, unfortunately, are they war orphans? Yes, Blanky is a war orphan. Okay, because, well, she was, yeah, barbaric lands. Uh, Basically, she was with a whole bunch of other people in a warring, in like a little bit of a war tribe. I don't, yeah, no, war tribe is not the correct word. A war band. That's the right word. She was with them for reasons, and essentially a big battle broke out, and she got lost. You know, and she fell into a river and flowed downstream into the land of Earth, and well, she's just been here ever since. You know, uh, Amber Splutter's grandparents picked her up, and they're like, "Hey, you're on your granddaughter now," and she's like, "Okay." Basically, she may or may not be a war orphan. Okay, she's at least stranded here. She's been stranded here for about like 5 years, and because she was pretty young, and she doesn't actually have any means to, cross the border and go all the way up to the northern lands to find her family. So she might as well essentially be a war orphan. Uh, Spotter Greg is just lost. Uh, it's not an So Spotter Greg is he's lost, but it's not like a big revel. It's not a big story of oh no. Yes, yes, Patrick. That's basically it. Oh, congratulations, we're rescuing you. Don't try to leave. And so she was just like, okay. And so Spotter Greg, he's basically the best scout around, okay? He can find his way through a forest with his eyes closed. Unfortunately, the first time he tried doing that, he ended up here. So he doesn't really know where he is right now, you know? But Amber Splutter's grandparents took him in too, and they're like, you can stay here until you find your way back home. And he's just not been able to find his way back home. He just has no clue where he's supposed to go. So technically, they're not orphans. He's just an idiot, and so he's lost. Uh, Blanky McBlankface is a human. Okay. She's up. Okay. Age. These three are like about 15, 16 ish years old. Okay. Well, I say that. No, she specifically, Blanky McBlankface is about 15 to 16 ish years old. Uh, she's a human. Spotter Greg is about 13. He's a birdman. Uh, 13 is fairly old for that race, so he's probably like 18 or something in human years. The bird people don't live very long. Ember Splutters. Ember Splutters is 12. And Ember Splutters is a unicorn. Well, technically pony, I guess you could call. His horn hasn't grown yet. His horn hasn't grown yet, but at the back of his head there is a adorable tiny little splutter of fire. That's why Ember Splutter is called Splutter. So unicorns are in this world. They have manes made of fire. And most unicorns, by the way, they're like the buffest people around. Like, have a look here. Uh, Scrolling down the chat in unicorns. Okay, I had to draw this because I couldn't find a good reference. But this is basically the lore of the unicorns right now. Ember Sparkles. Unicorns are basically one of the buffest creatures in this world. Well, the buffest non-monsters, I would say. Maybe there are buffer creatures like the Cyclops or Minotaurs and stuff, but they're not recognized like people with like full-on sentience or whatnot. The unicorns are close to being the buffest around. They've at least got the densest muscles. Spotter. We go north blank to Ember is in sort. Wait, what? Oh, right. So Spotter basically says, we're going north. And then Blank's like, isn't that south? And Ember's just like, shh, let him have his fantasy. We're heading the right way somehow. So let it be. Yeah, basically, we've got a scout with no sense of direction. I don't actually have answers for. As you can see, he's also the biggest boy. Yeah, because he's like kind of the roundest. Yeah. So I don't actually have like super hard stats for everyone yet. Do you want to come up with stats really quick? Right. I'll give you the premise. So the premise is, uh, so Ember Splutter's grandparents, okay, who basically is supporting all three of them right now. He's raising all three. They're raising all three of them. Their house is going to be foreclosed on because they made a deal with the leprechauns, and the leprechauns kind of scammed them, and now the leprechauns are gonna foreclose on their house as part of a debt. A part of a debt. So that's pretty bad. So we're gonna make so the story here is our main characters. Okay, these three kids want to stop that. Okay, they want to make sure that their house doesn't get sold. They don't want to lose their house. They don't want to lose their home. That'd be sad. So they want to get out of this scam contract. But the problem is it's an actual contract, which So yeah, basically, how do we? They want to. There's going to be a whole bunch of options for how on earth are they going to get over this situation, right? What are we going to do, right? So I'm thinking first step, what are these people? So we're not going hard into like, oh, so this person's a level, they're all level 3, this one's a rogue, that one's a warrior, that one's a mage. No, we're keeping it a very simple RP system because let's be honest, I'm just gonna be like, oh, hey, so they're trying to do this, I'm gonna say that's this stat roll, because essentially it's just gonna be me. It's just me, unfortunately, which is gonna be really troublesome right now. But maybe someone will eventually join in someday. Who knows? So we're gonna start with Spotter. We know he's a scout. So I'm gonna write down right there. He's a scout. Okay. Uh, I feel like the best thing to do would just be to actually keep going with the D&D stats. So we just go strength, X, Dex, you know, uh, con, Viz, int, Viz, and charisma. So yeah, so this is about how simple it's gonna be. So we're just gonna be like roughly what is their class description, and I'll just give them a bonus to certain roles and say that they're allowed to do certain things. But any enemy who I say has the same kind of any other NPC who has the same ability, same role or whatnot, I'll give them the same benefits of the doubt. We'll iron out the systems later. But what do you think? Okay, the spotters doesn't satisfy wisdom. Okay, so I'm gonna say that we're not gonna go with the from 0 to 20. I think we're just gonna go like maybe from I don't know 1 to 5 or something like that. Spotter gets disadvantage on perception rules. Why would you say that? Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, oh, that's right. He's got bad eyes. Just because he's a bird doesn't mean he has amazing eyesight. So Scott, you have anything to say? Maybe you got like for Blanky or Ember, you've got like a certain kind of class you want them to take on. If you're still here, I honestly don't know. I can't tell. I know there's someone here. I have no idea if that's Scott or not. Maybe he left. Okay, so first off, uh, would you rather it be survive? Patrick, please, please. This is a scout. You can't, you can't be this mean to our scout. Look at him. He's an adorable little bird. Okay, right. So I'll just copy paste the stats for everyone, just so that I could have it ready. Uh, in fact, maybe I'll actually just separate out the top stats and the bottom stats because I feel like otherwise it's going to be just enough numbers that it's going to be knocked into 2 rows, and that's going to be kind of annoying. So spotter, I'm gonna say, okay. So this is what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna keep it simple like this for once at least. Okay. Uh, z- oh, hi. Glad you're still sticking around. Glad you're interested. Yeah, Scott, don't worry. I understand it's tough to type on a phone. That's kind of annoying. You don't need to type if you don't want to. I'm sorry for pressuring you. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, just let me know and we'll incorporate that. But for now, at least, Spotter Greg, we know he's gonna be bad at wisdom. So I'm going to say -2. So -2 for bad, +2 for good, 0 for it, average. 1 for he's okay. And I feel like that's okay, a good enough system for right now. We're basically starting like early game. That's essentially how what I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call it early game. You know, so it goes from -2 to +2. I'm gonna say -2 is probably the lowest for any of our heroes. Get up on your foot. Well, listen, Patrick, you don't need to show off. Okay, so I'm gonna say Spotter Greg is really good at dexterity. You know, he may be he may have terrible eyesight, but he's a very good scout in the fact that he can just walk really well on terrain, despite the fact that he's a bird and he should fly. But he always carries so much baggage on his shoulders that he actually can't fly. I'm gonna call his strength a +1, just because he always likes carrying heavy things. He's kind of a pack rat in that sense of the word. Yeah, you feel like Potter could be a fighter or a rogue type. Yeah, so here's the thing. The Spotter, Greg, as you can see, he always carries around like a lot of stuff. He can technically fly because he is a bird. However, he always carries so much that he just can't fly. So he kind of balances out his own bird abilities. So I'm gonna say that his strengths, okay, his strength's good. His dexterity is pretty good, a +2. Bad wisdom, bad wisdom. Unfortunate. I'm gonna say Blanky McBlank face, as you can see, because they always have a blank face on and don't really show much expression, and just like, yeah, no, why would we do that? You suck. I'm gonna give her a -2 charisma. Okay, that just kind of. I feel like I want to do that just before we even decide what or not they are. So, what do you think? Yeah, yeah. So, Spotter could be a fighter or rogue type. So, yeah, I call Spotter the scout, but that's kind of a joke, I guess, because they're not really a scout at whatsoever. So I'm just gonna call them the sneaky boy. I'm gonna say over here perception disadvantage, I guess. Sure, I'm just gonna write it out in full form. I was trying to figure out what or not do I write as a short form, but I couldn't figure it out. I was thinking about a party setup. Do we have a healer? Is Unicorn the fighter? Question mark. Well, you see, this is a very improvised story, which means that nothing's actually set up beforehand. So, because of the unicorns are naturally a very strong race. Ember is a small boy, though. He's pretty small for his age as well. Ember could be bigger, but he's not. Amber's not. Amber's got a detriment to his strength. Sadly, he's a small pup, small pony. So yeah, he could be either the healer, or I feel like it would be interesting if we go like, oh, maybe Amber really, really wants to be a fighter, but he can't because he's not strong enough, and so he focuses maybe like dexterity-based weapons or ranged weapons. But yeah, uh, I feel like yeah, we can make Amber the healer if you want. A Blanky McBlank face could be I don't know. Ex- well, Patrick, Amber is not, because Amber, as you can see, only has a tiny little piece of horn. He hasn't got his horns yet. Ignore the. Okay, listen. This is just a reference picture I found because listen, surprisingly enough, people don't make a lot of unicorn art. Okay, I mean, people probably do, but they don't make a lot of unicorn art which I can use because My Little Pony's around, and so everyone always makes that kind of unicorn, which is not really what I want. So yeah, Scott, we'll make Ember Splutters the healer. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just change Spotter to Rogue. That's just the. I'll just use the default name for it, rogue. So Emperor Splutter is the healer. So healing specifically, I'm gonna say he's a wisdom kind of healer. Okay, so we'll give him a +2 in wisdom. Okay, I'm gonna give him a -1 in strength. No, I'm gonna give him a -2 in strength. He's who is the none of the group? Blanky McBlankface is the nerd of the group, and she's also the fighter, I think. She's the nerd who's gonna beat up other nerds. She's gonna be like, "Nerd, what up?" and just pound. Water break, drink water, drink water. I have to drink more water. Dehydration's gonna kill me. Okay, so yeah. Uh, hey Devourer! Welcome to the stream! Today is a very stupid stream. As you might see from this. Oh, no, don't go away. We're having a completely improvised story time, which is, yeah. So it's a completely improvised story time, meaning all I have is just these three pictures of our heroes, and I have nothing else. I mean, I say that. In the Discord channel, I've got a bunch of lore on the world, okay? So the world is made, okay? So I made a world, but other than that, nothing. I made nothing else other than the world and just like one sentence or two sentences for just the basic story here. So these three heroes, okay? We have Blanky McBlankface, a human girl, Spotter Greg, a bird, Ember Splutters, a unicorn boy, and basically they all live in Ember Splutter's. They all live with Ember Splutter's grandparents, and the grandparents' house is going to be foreclosed because the leprechaun scammed them. That's the story. Okay, if you read the lore, okay, in the Discord chat, it is like an epic world where all the factions are constantly at war, and the story I've decided to tell in this epic war world is your grandparents have gotten scammed. You got to help them before the house gets foreclosed. Ember, be healed, bonks you on the head. That spell always puts him to sleep. I don't understand why. Yes, God, that's amazing. Yellow fraud. Oh, wonderful, Devourer. Wonderful. So we have two fighters and one cleric. Well, technically, we have a rogue, a fighter, and a cleric. So I'm gonna call Blanky a fighter. Uh, we'll basically buff her later into what else she's gonna be, but she's gonna have a lot of deck and she'll have a lot of strength. But I'm gonna say she's not good at the dexterity. She's not particularly good at dexterity. Uh, she is not very wise either. She's she's pretty decent when it comes to endurance. Okay. Uh, yeah. The end result is I want to keep everyone sort of balanced. I don't want to make someone they've got +2 and everything. Spotter Greg, surprisingly, he's pretty decent. Remember, no. Who am I kidding? He's a dumb bird. I'm so sorry. Ember's pretty good at remembering things. Although, so Spotter Greg also has he's got a decent bit of charisma. A fighter. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, for a female girl, she's a double quote fighter because she might stay a fighter or she might evolve into like a berserker or something similar to that. So yeah, as you can tell, we're keeping it very simple. You know, we're not. I was thinking of having like a full on tabletop system, but I've decided that might be a little too much for a completely improv thing, right? Because I don't want to sit down and write a full character sheet every single time. Like, oh, here's a new enemy. Okay. Uh, Splutters is low charisma, but is adorable. So I'm gonna give 1 point for charisma, and 1 point for dexterity. I think they are fairly close to balanced right now. Blanky is not a people person. Spotter is the Zorro of the group. Ember is a good boy who has to deal with these two. Yes. Blanky has no people skills. Zorro is an adorable bird, and that's the only reason why he only gets points because he's an adorable bird. Ember is a cutie and is pleasant to talk to. Honestly, I want to give Ember more charisma, but I feel like that would make the stats too unbalanced. Actually, you know what? No, that's fine. I'm gonna have to give them a +2 in charisma, and they're gonna have a 0 in dexterity. They're gonna be completely average when it comes to dexterity. Therefore, we got people on all ends of the scale. Blanky is not very dexterous, Spotter's very dexterous, and Ember's just so and so. Ember's okay. So, we're gonna start this story with. Hold up a second. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to show any pictures because I don't think I can find any proper ones that aren't like free to use or whatnot, and I don't have time to draw up something. I could, but I don't think you have time to watch me do that. So I'm going to start the story. Also, first question is, I guess, do you guys want music? Because if you do, I could just set something up. Otherwise, no need. Click on the wrong thing like an absolute idiot. I guess that makes sense given who I am. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So this is a. I guess I should say this because Devourer popped up. So basically, you guys in chat, you guys are essentially the seeker gods. I'm gonna call you guys the seeker gods, but you can call yourself the watchers if you want. Basically, you can suggest things to happen in the story, and they'll happen. Well, it won't necessarily happen, but as long as it doesn't break the story in a way I cannot possibly tell, I'll do it. So if you suddenly say alligator attack, then I'll have to be like, yeah, I'm sure I can make that work. Or if you suddenly say, you know, the heroes meet a scammy merchant who will somehow help them. I can do that probably. Can I? Who knows? I'm fine without music. Okay. I guess that also works. If I just don't do any music, it's gonna focus on my voice, and you guys can have your own background music on, right? So that works. I don't get copyright claimed, and you guys can basically just have whatever music you want in the background, and we're good to go. Okay, no sex trafficking. Yes, yes, Patrick. None of. Basically, we can veto stuff if it's too extreme. But yeah, you have a good amount of control at least. So we start our story. We start our story on a small patch of a grassy hill. A small house sits atop this hill, overlooking a tiny little wheat farm. I'm not going to say PG-13, but close. PG-16. Overlooking this. In this house sit an old couple. Two large red unicorns, anthropomorphic unicorns. One sitting on a rocking chair, creaking back and forth, staring out towards the distant mountains of the east, the west. Occasionally, they see a splutter of fire from atop the peaks. They stare nostalgically towards it, a fiery red mane drooping in the wind, in the low breeze. Standing next to them, standing next to this one, is another similar unicorn, uh, a bit more grey and red. Their fiery mane pierce to the point where it almost counts as like an afro of sorts. They stare down at this one. The standing one stares down at the sitting unicorn with a long sigh, looking at the piece of paper that's clutched tightly in their hands. Our three heroes, well, heroes, questionable. The three kids, Blanky McBlankface, Potter Greg, and Ember Splutters, hide behind a wall. Not quite well, but they attempt to hide. Just watching the two old unicorns, sadly. While the unicorns have attempted to hide the contents of the paper, the three understand that it is not a good thing. It is something sad. They don't truly understand the implications though. Just just that they don't like seeing the grandparents sad. Hello engineer, welcome to the stream. Okay, so this is going to be an insane thing. I should have written it out properly, but basically feel free to make suggestions whenever you want. Spotter Greg, looking the grandparents, turns back to look at Blanky and Ember. I know. Sorry, hold up. I know. Why do you look so sad? What's on that paper? The bad paper. Blanky, with zero social skills, stares forth. I have no clue. Maybe it's the IRS. I don't think they've been paying their taxes. Ember slash Blanky. No, they've been paying their taxes just fine. It's not the evil tax man. Grandpa and Grandma wouldn't do that. They're not criminals. Blanky just stares, just vaguely shrugging. But with the blank expression on their face, you can't really tell if they've accepted it or if they were joking or if they truly do believe that Grandma and Grandpa Unicorn are tax evaders. Potter Greg's like, okay, right, right. I have a plan. What what if what if they aren't looking? We take the paper and we burn it. Then the bad people will go away and they'll be happy. Blanky stares and just has a slow nod before starting to walk forward. Yes, burn it with fire. Ember just grabs Blanky, just pulls them back. No, no, you can't just do that. And then just both Spotter and Blanky turn to Ember to go, shh, we're hiding. Ember puffs his cheeks. This is upsetting. The unicorn grandparents turn and regard the three kids. The one sitting on the grand chair, the one sitting on the rocking chair, Grandma apparently, is about to stand up, but Grandpa pushes her back down and says, "No, it's fine. I'll 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 I'll, I'll send them off to play with the other kids. They don't need to know about this. I'm sure we'll get through it somehow." Oh dear. Okay. That would really help. And so the grandpa unicorn comes over to the tree, bickering kids, and tells them, "Hey, Ember, Spotter, and Blanky, why don't you go play at Collins? You like you like Collins, right? Just why don't you go over there and play around with the old throw ball, right? That's what it's called, right?" And Spotter's like, "Ball, ball, where?" And Blanky just stares, just blink, blink. Grandpa Unicorn's like, "You, you do like playing throw ball, right, Blanky?" I swear to God, sometimes I just look at your face and I just cannot tell. Blanky nods, although you have no idea if it was actually a sarcastic nod, like, sure, or if it's just a, hmm, you know? It's very hard to tell what Blanky wants. Ember looks and just Ember looks very conflicted, clearly. Spotter's a very simple person, so his mind's immediately shifted away from burning the paper. Blanky is unreadable to begin with. Ember, unfortunately, is overly empathic and is very sad. You know, he can see his grandpa sad. He doesn't like that, and he gets sad too. And his grandpa's like, "No, no, don't be sad. Listen, it's a great news. Just how about when you come back, we'll have your favorite banana grass cake." All three kids get perk up a little at that. You know, it's like, yeah. So what? Go on, kids. Go on. Scram. We gotta go get the ingredients and everything. Gotta go get a lot of work to get everything sorted. Bye. And the kids scurry off, and Grandpa Unicorn sighs, just turning back to look at Grandma Unicorn. Looking at the paper, the biggest words are clearly readable: foreclosure. It's sad, but they can't let the kids know. The kids, though, have been pulled to a stop not that far away from the house. I'll put a pause really quickly right there. Just to explain, this is a completely improvised story. I have not written anything out beforehand. Other than if you look at the Discord server, I have a huge amount of lore of the world. You guys can basically come up with like suggestions and be like, "Yo, what if this happens?" And I'll try doing it. And I just want you to understand that. So going back to the kids, okay? Amber's basically pulled the two aside, and Amber's like coming up with like a plan. Okay, right now listen. Now, now listen here. Okay, we need to find out why Grandpa and Grandpa are so sad. And then, but Spotter's like, but you said he's happy. And Amber's like, they were clearly lying. And Spotter's just like, wait, wait, this is Spotter. Wait, people do that? I mean, just just lie? Yeah, that that feels kind of wrong. And then Blanky is just like, ah, what on earth they meant by just saying, ah, who knows? Genuinely, who knows? Ember just turns to look at Blanky. Ember, you know what? Ember actually cares enough. Ember is going to attempt to roll. So what is this? Okay, hold up. Ember is going to roll a d20. Okay. There he's gonna use wisdom. So d20 plus 2, and if he beats 13, he'll know what's up. Ember cannot read Blanky McBlankface. Blanky McBlankface is a true enigma. Staring into their eyes, you see the cold, eternal void, uncaring, unfeeling, a being of a different plane. Shaking his head, Ember just looks at Blanky and is like, ah. Okay, so Patrick says that after the exchange with the grandparents, kids are approached by a mysterious figure offering a job. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I don't have art for a lot of things. I don't have art for anything, but I know what to do here. As the kids are huddled together, talking about what or not they're gonna do, they don't even know what they don't even know what the information is. Okay, so they decided upon a little bit of a plan. Okay, they decide on a little bit of a plan. Okay, first step, Bird Spotter Greg is gonna use his birdie eye. Can't we use random stock images? Okay, listen. I've got I can literally just open up Pinterest and take any picture from there and use it, right? That's what I've done here. These are not my pictures. These are just stock pictures from Pinterest. I'll eventually make things on my own. I can use things like that. Problem is it just takes time, right? If you want to send me a link to a picture or something, I'll open it up and I'll just show it on stream. I don't mind doing that. We can do that, right? So if you guys want to basically be like, hey, how about we use this guy, yeah, right? And you just have a picture, you can just send it to me, and I'll just pop that up on screen. On screen, basically, be like, okay, this is what we're going to use. Okay, take care, Scott. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you soon. So, okay, here's the plan the kids decide to do. Okay, they first don't even know what the situation is. Okay, so the random stranger's gonna have to wait for a moment. So, first step, the kids don't know anything about what's going on, but they know something's wrong. Okay. So yeah, just send it to me. I don't know what. I think you can post links in the chat. If you can't, I don't know. If you're in the Discord server, just DM it to me. So here's the plan, okay? Ember, being the wisest person here, said, "Hi Scott." Ember, the wisest person here, sets up a plan. Okay, what he's gonna do is he's gonna have Blanky McBlank face go over to go go over to the grandpa and grandpa and say that they need a spare something something. I don't know what else. Maybe the make up some lie, right? Maybe the ball broke or something like that. Need like a little bit of a sewing kit or something like that, right? Huh? And just distract them. While they're distracted, you know, Amber's going to go run over, and he's going to trip over and fall. And then the grandparents are going to be extra distracted, double distracted, if you will. You know, and then Spotter Greg is gonna go. He's gonna go high. Basically, he's gonna sneak over around everyone, and it's gonna just pop up wherever they left. Pop up behind the chair and just read whatever's on the note. And he's gonna basically retell whatever's on the note to the other two after the situation. You know, that's what they're gonna do. So here we go. Step one of the step one of the plan. We're gonna have Blanky McBlank face go up to the grandparents and basically be like, uh, ball broke, repair kit, needle, question mark. And yes, they actually say question mark. So that's what Blanky McBlank face says. And now, you know, now the grandparents are confused, okay? How could they have gone all the way to Collins so fast to find out the ball's broken and come back here? You know? The grandparents are confused. Now, the grandparents attempt to look to see if she's lying or not. It is. I mean, Blanky McBlankface has no expression whatsoever on her face, so it is incredibly difficult to tell if she's lying or telling the truth. And the grandpa's like, "Yeah, sure, okay. I mean, I'm gonna go just look to see. I'm sure we have a repair kit somewhere around here." And an Ember comes running up. It's like, Blanky, Blanky, where are you? Don't. We have to find the. And he just trips over his own feet. I'm just gonna. This one I need to roll to see how well he does. So just roll. Roll his charisma +2. Oh my god, that's a 21. Yeah. So, without missing a beat, he takes one step forward, and with his second step, he just hooks it on the back of his first, and then he basically just. Ah! And just face plants into the ground. You know? It is extremely convincing. Grandma and Grandpa are both extremely worried, like, oh, Ember! Hello, Ember! And they, nope, it's a 19. Yeah, so they both come rushing over to look at Ember to see if he is all right. And, well, he faked it so well he actually fell over. So, no, he is not all right. They are distracted for a little bit longer. And while they're distracted, yeah, and while they're distracted, Spotter Greg is going to sneak up behind them and go and read the note in the chair. So Spotter Greg gets an advantage because of that. That will let them know your next move. Yep. Oh yeah, take 1 point of damage. You know what? In fact, that's fair. I'm gonna say they all have 10 HP, and you have 9 out of 10 HP right now. They probably don't have 10 HP all, but I'll figure it out later. I don't know why this bar suddenly appeared. Ignore it. That's what I do. Such incredible intellect. Yes. So Spotter Greg is going to get an advantage on this. So let's see. Let's have him roll dexterity for the sneaking. That's that's a total of 18. That's really good. Okay, so 18. That's what you got. That's what basically you can hear Solid Snake music or something, or no, you can hear like the stealth music. Doom, 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 as like Spotter Greg is basically just on down on all fours, just and he just ends up right next to the rocking chair, okay, which is now abandoned, and the note is on the rocking chair, okay. Spotter Greg picks it up. Spotter Greg reads the note. Spotter Greg. Uh, I just realized for a second. Can Spotter Greg read? I mean, okay, well, listen, Patrick. Eventually I'll figure out the system. Till now, I don't know. Hello, Siggy Von Der Kush. Welcome to the stream. We're doing a very improvised story where it's a very basic RP setup, and you guys are essentially the Watcher Gods, and you guys can suggest all sorts of stuff. And as long as it doesn't completely break the story, I will do my best to implement it. So, Spotter Greg is very unwise, but he's only slightly stupid, But he is also 12. So, question mark? A new. So, what I'm. Listen, Spotter Greg got a -1. He is objectively the stupid one. Okay, Patrick? Don't make shit up right now. So yeah, Spotter Greg reads it, okay? He doesn't understand most of it, but he understands the big words of foreclosure. And he can see the big number. He can say, oh, that's foreclosure. I don't know what that word means, but I know it's important because it's like, I don't know what the word means, but it's really big, so I know it's important. And then he can also see, that's a big number. I like big numbers. Wait, big numbers on bills are bad, you know? And then realizing, okay, right. So he just puts down the thing. Okay, he's like, okay, mission accomplished. And he just goes sneaking back. Dun, 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 dun. And now I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit, okay? Basically, Blanky McBlankface now has the stitching kit to fix the throwing ball that might or might not even be broken. Who even knows? And Ember now has a little bandage on his snout. So they all meet up again. It's like, well, whoa, what did you find? And Spotted Greg's basically, good news, big number. If, if it was good news, they they wouldn't be so sad. Ah, what what, what do you mean big number? Come on, that's gotta be more than just big number. You were sitting there for like 2 minutes reading it. Come on, you gotta have something else. And then Spotted Greg's like, ah, hey, yes, that was a big word. Foreclosure. I don't know what that means. Foreclosure? That that's bad, right? That's bad word? And Blanky McBlankface is just like, hold up, I need to actually do this properly. Oh, sorry. Foreclosure. I need the definition. Okay. So Blanky McBlankface is literally just gonna say foreclosure is a legal process in which a lender attempts to recover the balance of a loan from a borrower who has stopped making payments to the lender by, and then just Spotter Greg just goes like wide eyed and he's like, and you can just tell that Spotter Greg's probably just his brain's turned off for a second, and Ember's like, wait a second, Grandma and Grandpa owe people money and they're gonna take the house. And Blanky literally just starts repeating the definition of foreclosure again. Did anyone send? Hold up a second. Hermit's not in the chat, is it? Okay. Give me 1 second. So no one's actually sent a picture to Mysterious Stranger, correct? The Wouter, you didn't send anything. You weren't able to send anything, right? I guess links had turned off in chat. Okay. So while these kids are talking, yeah, he can basically bullshit his way through reading. He knows, he can understand that there's a big word. He does not have the patience to read everything else, and it took him 2 minutes to figure out that big word and the number and the big number. Okay. Hold up 1 second. As these three kids are, Spot a great play too much Vampire Survives, maybe. As the three kids are like huddled together, talking, okay? Uh, basically, uh, basically Spotter Greg repeating foreclosure, and then Blanky just repeating the definition of the word foreclosure over and over again. Someone comes up and approaches the three of them. Oop. Oopsie. Give me 1 second. Things fell over. Engineer. Sad face. What happened? What happened? Why sad? Okay, right. Sorry. Okay. I'm looking. There is nothing I can use, right? So, okay. I guess we're gonna do this. Someone approaches the tree of these people. Who is it? Well, I can say this. They're tall, slightly skinny. I would say they're dark, maybe dark hair. Handsome, questionable, depends on who you are. So maybe a tall, dark, and handsome person. I mean, if you decide to, if you swing that way, maybe a tall, dark, handsome man just approaches. You know, hey yo, what's up? I hear you guys talking about foreclosure. Like, what's up? It's mysterious stranger number one. And some tall, dark stranger. So, specifically, what I mean by a handsome, tall, dark stranger is you got a fairly skinny human with like black hair. I'm gonna say it's like kind of long, but it's also really unkept. It
Hey
looks like
kid,
this.
what's happening here?
This is what he looks like. This is the tall, dark, handsome stranger.
I forgot my flesh cloak. I don't know where I put it. Give me a second. Did you hear that? Did I say it out loud? Never mind. So, what's going on here? I got a little bit drunk last night, and I just woke up and I have a terrible headache. I don't know where this is. Where are we? What's happening?
You look down, there is like a 13-year-old blonde, expressionless human girl. Sorry, there's a 16-year-old blonde, expressionless human girl, a 13-year-old, not very bright looking blue bird boy, and there's like a 12-year-old red furred unicorn boy who hasn't grown his horn yet and only has a tiny little ember on the back of his head. Okay, and
Oh
then
God!
basically
Don't
the
tell me
bird
I got
says
drunk
the bird
and I
boy
know we're not gonna do again.
sorry, the bird boy looks at you and says, "Foreclosure!" And then Blanky McBlankface literally repeats the definition of foreclosure to you. And Ember
And
looks so sad and is like, "Grandma and Grandpa, they're gonna lose the house."
Uh, okay, well, please. He just Alexander has this absolutely horrified look on his face for a second, and he's like, "Oh God, please don't tell me I ended up in a notary office again."
You look around, you seem to be in a fairly just a regularly grassy edge of the forest outdoors area.
Oh, thank God.
There's not a single slot in sight. So
Oh,
you're probably not a notary anymore.
oh, thank God. Okay, this uh, well, this is better than being an honorary at least. Doesn't help the fact that I don't have no clue where I am right now, but hey, you kids, I know I'm exactly the type of people your parents think about when they say don't talk to strangers. Well, okay, maybe it's not that extreme in their mind, but that's even more of a red flag actually. Anyway, so about that, your grandma. I need to lay low for a few days technically, but I've never actually done that. So, hey, maybe I can help you out in some way. Shh, shh. Flesh Golem, calm down, Flesh
It,
Golem, please.
you you can? How? The unicorn asks, clapping as they kind of jump a little bit. Uh,
Okay, so your
the the
parents
the
have
bird is
named
like,
their house.
stranger can help. Good stranger. And Blanky McBlankface literally just points at you and says, "Stranger danger. Stay back." And they've already got a hand on a little sword by their waist.
Eh, Well, at least one of you is reasonable, but oh well. Well, don't worry though. I have a personal rule: don't experiments on children under the age of 13. Wait, no, that was 15 actually. Wait, you still classify, so don't worry. No, well, sadly, that
Blanky just
also means
stares at you and
that
says, "I think I'm 16."
well, that also means sadly I can't give you any extra arms. So if you needed that, well, I can give you mine, but like not literally this time, and I want to keep mine. So anyway, well, I don't really like notaries, so in terms of legal consequences, I can't really help you. But if you have any ideas, I'm more than willing to listen.
How do you stop someone from being foreclosed on? The unicorn asks.
I mean, legally or
I'm 12. I don't know what that means.
well, if you're conscious enough to mention your age first before saying that you don't know what that means, you must have at least a clue. Unless you just always preface your statement by saying I'm 12, which I mean that's you do you, that's your thing. But oh well. I mean legally that means if the guards and cops and everything won't try to kill you if you do it illegally. That means not legally. That means they will try to kill you if you do it.
I don't want to die.
All
The
right,
the
legally
bird
you will.
says,
Well, I mean, at the same
is
time, if you
crossing
don't
the
want to,
border is crossing the border without paying illegal."
I mean, you're kids, so they probably won't try to kill you, unless they're real douchebags, like worse than me. But technically, yes. But I personally wouldn't really care. So, and yeah, about not dying. If you don't want to die, I have bad news for you. How long do birds people live? Even.
I think I die when I'm like 20 or or,
Oh.
or was it 25? I don't know
Ooh.
numbers. I
Well.
know it's a not big number compared to you.
Well, I mean, it's still gonna happen, so you'll definitely end up dying one day.
I did not expect you to come in and you be the mysterious stranger who's gonna attempt to help the kids out.
I joined the sorry, out of character. I joined the stream. I saw you trying to like say that someone, and you were clearly struggling. So I'm like, oh well, this is my time to shine.
I was literally gonna be like, okay, right, I'm gonna describe Dr. Alexander essentially.
I knew that you were going to do that, so kind of. So like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep. So basically, you I'm just gonna say this, you can come with any bullshit. And, you know, it's improvised storytelling.
Okay,
You know the world. You've written half of it, I think.
hmm, I know.
So yeah, you are the mysterious stranger. How are you going to? How? What options are you going to give the kids?
Well, I look at the kids and I'm like, okay, well, don't take this the wrong way, and I'm gonna try not to swear because I have children in front of me, but you look absolutely terrible. So, not in the sense that your physique is displeasing, and honestly, me judging that would be very sus. So, I will try to avoid doing that, but in the sense that you look like you've been traveling for a while. So, how far away is your grandpa's range actually?
Uh, okay, hold up. So the one who clearly looks like the scout, the little bird,
Mm-hmm.
he
Mm-hmm.
points in the direction you came from, and you know that they absolutely didn't come from that direction. Ember, Read. Let me say.
Definitely didn't come
Okay,
from that way. And
Blanky grabs puts a hand on little bird's head and just turns him around 180 degrees, and they just point at a house literally a 2-minute walk away.
how are you this tired when you walk this little distance? Oh wait, no, you're peasants. Of course, you look really like you're starving. Um, yeah, okay, just forget what I said. Actually, yeah, from the hints that you gave me, I thought you were already crossing the borders.
No, no, that was like a year ago. And then
It,
the bird says, and Blanky says, "Yeah, it was like 5 years ago. They didn't let me They didn't let me go back though, so I'm just stuck here."
uh,
And Ember says, "I don't even know where the border is."
okay, clearly I'm way too stupid for this situation, even though I'm not, but there's some complexity here that I don't clearly understand. So maybe I'm just missing context, but I've been needing a new second brain for a while. So I wonder if your kids would be willing to help me with that. Clearly, after that, we'll be able to have a solution to our problem.
Right. Okay.
Now,
So if we get you,
calm down. I'm not asking for one of yours. I'm asking for you to help me find someone else that you wouldn't miss or actively don't like, who wouldn't miss his brain. Well, of course they would, but who you wouldn't care that they miss his brain.
I is this illegal?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ember just turns to ask the others. Spotter Greg is actually going to roll for wisdom really quick. He somehow got a grand total of 13. His little bird brain rubs two electrons together, two neurons together, and it basically just says, he basically just grabs the other two kids and just starts running. The kids start running from you.
Well, I mean, I can't fault you for your decision, but I mean, at the same time, look, there's also other possible. Oh well.
Okay. The kids have
At
ran
least
off.
you can
I
live with the
assume you're not
knowledge
going to
that you
chase them,
can
right?
take a hint. I just yelled back at them. Well, at least you can live with the knowledge that you can take a hint and read the room.
They just keep running. They're not stopping.
Those kids are smart.
Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know if I can contribute to any much more than that, so
Oh,
I'm
that's
just
fine.
gonna.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, mysterious stranger number one.
Thank you. Goodbye. Definitely not gonna be able to do this all the time, but
Mm.
I'll try to do this as much as I can.
Yeah.
How do you hang up this stupid thing? There you go.
Uh,
Goodbye.
I
Thank
could
you.
kick you from the call. That might work.
No, don't worry. I'm just gonna. I found out how to do it. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye bye. Okay. Well, he's gone now. So, well, Patrick, I guess that was mysterious stranger number one. He was not very helpful at all. The kids are more concerned than ever. But, you know, the mysterious stranger number one did help them in a way, shape, or form because the kids who ran away, unless anyone has anything they want to say real quick, you know, I'm gonna give you a few. I'm gonna give you a few seconds, and I'm gonna say what I have cooked up randomly. Yep. Bye bye, creepy skin wearing man. So technically, he wasn't wearing his skin cloak. Okay, he was just a creepy, shirtless, scarred man with four arms, which objectively might be a bit worse than wearing a cloak made of skin. Okay, so the kids, okay, they they go running away, and in the direction they ran in, because because Spotter Greg is leading them, and Spotter Greg always finds his way somehow. You know, Spotter Greg has a 100% success rate somehow or the other. I mean, they eventually get to the destination at the end, so I'm gonna count that as a success. You know, and these kids in the direction of away from that guy end up in a small clearing in the forest. And in the small clearing of a forest, they find another human kid, a fairly regular looking kid with like a fairly regular looking kid with like a ginger hair, you know, frizzled, frizzly, frizzled ginger hair, you know, wearing wearing a green, you know, leaf-like outfit, and basically holding up a torn ball. You know, it's Colin, and then Colin just turns to look at the kids like, "How did you?" I mean, sorry, I don't have a voice for Colin. How did you know I was here? That's impossible. I hid really, really well. And then just the three of them just turn and they're just staring at Colin. And they're just like, huh? And then just Blanky just points, huh? Hey, it's Colin. We found you. And Colin just tries to hide the torn ball behind his back. It's like, no, no, you didn't. I'm not here. This is just a hallucination. You're just seeing things. You're just stupid. You're just. Why are you guys here? Like, how did you know to look for me here? Here of all places. And no, the ball is not broken. It's just not feeling well. I. And then. And then Spotter Greg's like, it's Colin! Colin! Let's play throw ball! And Ember's like, what? We, we weren't supposed to go to college. That was supposed to be an excuse. I thought we were gonna. I, I thought we were gonna go look for someone to help us find out about the foreclosure thing. You know? And Colin's like, but foreclosure? What are you talking about? What? Oh, oh, is something happening with Grandpa and Grandpa unicorns? And Ember just kind of just covers his mouth like, oh no. And Greg is just like, just nodding like, yeah. And Blanky is like, the house is being foreclosed. And then just spouts out one more time the definition of foreclosure, and then just and then Spotter Greg just staring at just staring, just eyes wide, just blank, nothing in their head, just basically zoning out as as she's basically giving the explanation of foreclosure one more time. Yeah. And so Collins is like, I I know what foreclosure means. I'm not stupid. You're stupid. You know? And oh, that's bad. That sucks. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Black. Yes, Blanky McBlankface might or might not be an actual goddamn NPC. Yeah. Okay. And so Colin's like, wait, I heard about this. I'm sorry, wrong voice. Okay. Wait, I heard about this. Right. So if your house being foreclosed, that you said loan, right? So you need money. And then Blanky just says, thank you for stating the obvious. You're welcome, Colin replies with a bright, cheery smile. And, you know, Ember's like, Oh, Blanky's got such nice manners, you know? And Greg's like, I think, I, I think that might have been sarcasm. Everyone turns to look at Greg for a second. Uh, what's going on? I know big words too. I'm smart. Blanky's like, what is the definition of sarcasm? Eh, eh, it's, eh, it's saying things, but not. Blanky reaches out, pets the bird on his head. You are very smart. And then Spotter says, I know that's more sarcasm. I don't know what that word means, but I know that's sarcasm. And so, okay, we're gonna skip forward a tiny bit, okay? But the three kids, okay, and four kids now. Colin is also there. Colin is a kid. Colin is probably 14. Not 100% sure who actually knows. Maybe about 14. Human-ish, human enough, you know. His weird leafy clothes, nothing. It means nothing. He's human enough, and so he's just a human, you know. So he's been hiding out here so that people don't find out that he tore up the ball. You know, they're playing ball, and he's like out here just trying to find if he can trying to see if he can find something to fix it. And luckily, because of the shenanigans the kids have done, they already do have the sewing kit, so they can sew up the ball. Side quest complete. Colin is happy. Colin throws the ball around. Colin thinks. Colin remembers. Wait, no, wait. That's like, wasn't there buried treasure over in the mines? And it's just all three kids just stop and just, uh, well, Patrick, Colin is looking a little short, but I might not, you know, I, I will neither confirm nor deny that. Okay, okay, Patrick, you prick. And so the three kids are like, wait, there's money in the mines? When did that happen? And Colin's just like, yeah, like about the time when the dwarves did that thing. You know the thing. And Blanky's like, yes, the thing. So insightful, so descriptive. And Colin's like, I know, right? I'm sorry. Colin's like, I know, right? Like super descriptive. But yeah, you basically go by the mine where the dwarves did the thing, and there's treasure. And Spotter Greg's like, the sarcasm. Blanky just pats the bird's head. The bird, the bird's brain has grown slightly bigger today. Anyway, Amber's like, okay, if that's treasure in the mines, we gotta go. We gotta go get the treasure in the mines. And Amber rushes forward, not knowing where the mines are. Okay, and then Blanky grabs onto sorry. So Spotter grabs onto Blanky's hand and starts running off towards Ember, and the three kids run off into the forest, and Colin just turns to regard wherever they're looking. It's like, but but I didn't tell them where the mines were. Uh oh well, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, they got Spotter, and Spotter always finds his way. Except when he doesn't. And with that, we leave the situation with them, and I'm gonna take a small pause. Are you guys having fun? Yeah. You know what? I think that's fair, Patrick. So Collins chases them, feeling, yeah. Collins, not a dwarf. Yes. So there we go. That's Collins. Totally not a dwarf. And here's his stat sheet. He is. Listen, Collins is not a dwarf. You have to understand that. Please do not ever get that confused, okay? Do not conflagrate that with him being a dwarf, okay? He's totally not a dwarf. I'm glad you guys are having fun. But yeah, so we're gonna fast forward a tiny bit, okay? Uh, I feel like there's a pretty good introduction at least. Oh, part two might be their adventure in the mines, but yes. So about an hour or two have passed, and you don't know what happened to these kids. You have no idea what they've been through. You feel like maybe they've gone through a bit of an adventure already. Okay? Uh Blanky McBlankface has war paint on, and they when they walk forward, clutching their sword. Their completely blank, expressionless face, feeling a lot more warrior-like. Spotter Greg stands in front, fully confident in every single step he makes. Walking with a little cane, a small wispy gray beard thing hanging from his collar. You know, and walks, chest high in the air. You know, he's got a tiny scar on his face, and he's got determination on his eyes. Oh, they cared about her. You know, just a little splutter of flame on his back looks even stronger and fiercer. And we have Collins with Collins, you know, holding holding a shovel, just yelling, diggy diggy how, diggy diggy how, and everyone else behind him just has shovels for some reason. You have no idea where they have it, but you got them all, like even the birds, like diggy diggy how, diggy diggy how, Ember diggy diggy how, and even and Blanky, you have Blanky, dig dig diggy hole. Eventually, the kids see what can only be the entrance to the mines, and all of the, you know, all of the you know, all of the question mark character building, years of experience, whatnot, in the past few hours just fades away. You know, Blanky just wipes her face with a clot. The war paint gone. Looking back as lazy as always. You know, Spotter Greg hits his stick too hard. The stick breaks. Spotter Greg looks at the stick. Spotter Greg throws away the stick. He's like, "I think we're here." And he just points, and he's pointing at the wrong mountain, despite them already being at the entrance of the mine. And Ember just finally sinks low and just lets out a sigh. Ah. Yay, we're here, finally! Now we can get that treasure and go. And Colin's like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We gotta go. We gotta diggy diggy hole in there. And then they're like, okay, so Blanky's like, diggy, how much diggy hole? And Colin's basically like, right. So we gotta go over there. You gotta cross the 9 circles of, and you gotta go across the 9th level of the mine. You gotta fight the dragon, you know, the legendary dragon, Homer Vane. And then behind him, there's like, you know, this little dog creature. And then after you get past the dog creature, we'll probably be able to find the ore. And we have to mine the ore. Uh, uh, we have to mine the ore, and then we have to go take it to town, get it processed, sell it, wait a few weeks, and then we'll get money, lots of money. And then all the kids hearing that just collapse. I think that might be a great end of the first session. There we go. Oh yeah, by the way, the wispy white beard-like thing that Spotter Greg had, it was the tail of a squirrel. He just reaches into a scarf, he pulls it out, he's like, oh, white squirrel, whitey squirrel, where'd you come from? And the squirrel runs off. Okay, I I hope you guys had fun with that. I had a ton of fun. That was pretty good, at least for me. I think I might want to call that a success overall. Uh, Maybe next time we can I'll focus on like speeding it up a little bit more. But I do like currently I'll do like just having the base systems and not having to worry about not having to worry too much about the abilities. But I'll eventually kind of flush that out. But yeah, so here's what my idea is basically that next stream, I mean, not next stream, next week, we're gonna actually do like a proper dungeon or something like that, like a proper dungeon adventure. Because they're gonna go through the mine, right? And in the mine, everything's gonna happen. So we're gonna have like, oh, well, thanks. I'm glad you liked it. That was all, by the way, 100% improvised. I I still didn't even find a pen. Okay, so there is still not a drop of ink in the book of lore. I had nothing prepared other than the picture of those 3 kids, as you saw. But yeah, that was really fun. I had a lot of fun. I love talking, which is weird because I hate the sound of my own voice. But yeah, I'm glad you guys had fun. I had a bunch of fun too. I hope to see you guys next time as well. Yeah, there is so much backstory and lore that's at least helpful. You know. Oh, next week I can't wait to actually see where we progress from there. From here. Oh, I'm gonna have to plan out like a full dungeon map. I'm gonna have to see, oh, how is combat going to work? Are we gonna like give everyone a proper, scales and everything? I imagine so. I imagine we're gonna like I'm gonna probably simplify it a little bit, but I'm gonna give them their magical abilities. You know, maybe I'm gonna break the rules of D&D a little bit, but they're going to have something at least. Yeah, the lore, Patrick, the lore. Anyway, so we're like 10 minutes early today. Yeah, I felt like honestly, I just felt like that was a really good stopping point. Uh, so that's kind of why I decided, yeah, let's stop right there. Hmm? I could go on a little bit longer, but honestly, I don't really know what to do, what to say. You know, I feel like it'd kind of be a waste to be like, hey, for the next 10 minutes, let's go play something. Or let's do something. What do you guys think? We got 10 minutes left. Do you guys have anything you're interested in seeing? You know, maybe just chatting. Uh, Planning. Maybe planning for next session. What do you guys think? We got 10 minutes. to speed things up, roll a D100 to see the outcome. The outcome of the outcome of the whole adventure. Wait, so you're talking about the whole things of what happens in the mind? Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, right. So here's what I'm gonna do. So Patrick, basically the mines and stuff. I'm gonna make a few basic maps just to basically be like, yo, if they battle in this place or battle in that place, okay? But overall, the mining is going to be like a lot of just roll the dice and just see with the numbers that pop up. I'm going to have to improvise and say, okay, what on earth happened? What does that number mean, right? So obviously, I'm going to be like, okay, so this is the problem they're going to face, and everyone's going to roll their number, and what they roughly have in mind, and I'm going to see who actually succeeds and who fails. So that's my plan overall. Drop rice on paper and outline it. Oh, you're talking about for making the map? No, I'm fine with that. I don't need to make a map, and if I do, I can just make a very basic one. What do characters do, taking into account their skill models? Yeah, that's what I'm going to be looking at their skills. I will be making proper sheets for them next time. I'm gonna keep the notes on screen just so you can I'm gonna keep notes on screen just so you guys can see like, oh, this character has like a plus, and this character has like these stats, you know, and I'm gonna just keep a basic skills. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to keep it as the full D&D 5e system. I'm going to keep it as partially part of the D&D 5e system because I don't need all of these people to have like full character sheets. Like, oh, this person has all of these rogue skills. They have all these rogue subclass skills. They have probably maybe some magic as well, magic items. I'm going to simplify it a lot, but yeah, at its core, it's going to be D&D 5e. You know, I might not do the proficiency thing. I might. We'll see. But yeah, that's essentially it. I'm gonna just try making it easier on me because you know it's not one person, one character. It's me, all of the characters. Unless if someone comes in, they can always be like, "Yo, I'm gonna roll for this character." Cyclic samples. But yeah, I heard about that. That might be useful. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for a good idea. Hmm. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I probably do need to also add over here to this. Yeah, to the bookshelf over here. Maybe I can add the other characters, right? I can like draw up some basic art of those characters and maybe turn them into little models or little dolls or something. That'd be adorable to keep over here alongside. Uh, I don't know about for other NPCs and stuff. Like if I want to make like art for them or just like keep them as completely just description based. Like I'll just have a bunch of generic tokens and I'll just use the generic tokens and I'll just drop them onto the map. And then, oh, here's the generic token for this character, and just changing it out to actual tokens later on or just find placeholder tokens for everything now. I feel like it's in the spirit of improvisation to just describe the character and then find art for it later, especially since I am an artist, so I'll be able to like just watch this whole thing back and figure it all out. I have Wolten armor if you want. You know what? Engineer? Sure. Maybe Wolf can be like a secondary helper protagonist or a villain or who knows. Like so many opportunities, right? I'm always open to opportunities. It could be fun. I had a lot of fun today. Yeah, I'm so glad I tried it out. Like I would, you know, we also had like a pretty good attendance at one point. I mean, a lot of people did have to leave. Yeah, I think it all worked out really well. Uh, I've also recorded most of this session, which is great. That's good. I'm going to have to probably like I've not recorded from the beginning because I am a little bit of an idiot, but I've recorded a lot of it. So I can at least go over that and take a look and just sort that stuff out. I'll send it to the after stream. Oh, cool. Also, by the way, I just realized I could just use pen. I could use like Pura for something and just pop everyone on screen, and I could just, instead of having the picture like this, right? Instead of having this kind of picture, right? I could just make one screen which is just me, my character, animated in the center of the screen, and that might work a bit better. I'll have to look into that, you know. Oh, I switched back. Did I just see something? Hold up a second. You have all of my. Okay. Okay, so Patrick says you have all of my characters ready. Yeah, I already have your characters. That's pretty good. I could probably use those guys here and there. And thanks a lot, Patrick. So I think now that might be a good time to end stream. We're pretty close to the ending anyway. So let's not drag things out, right? Let's end on a fairly good note. Next stream is going to be really chill in comparison. Today I was doing a lot of talking. Next stream is just going to be Fallout. Fallout New Vegas. We're going to continue with the Pacifist. That's going to be a great time. See you soon. See you guys later. Hopefully see you tomorrow, engineer. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of. It's gonna be a lot of fun playing Fallout New Vegas again, and just seeing what we can do. Stopping recording and stopping the stream. Yeah, I had a lot of fun too. Thanks for being here, everyone.